Hey guys, I'm Chef Caroline Morrison. I'm here at the Fiction Kitchen at 428 South Dawson Street, downtown Raleigh. We're not doing curbside right now, but we will again soon, so please check us out on social media. Today I'm here to tell you about how to use your vegetable scraps to their fullest. Even if you don't compost, there is a use for those vegetable scraps. There's a good way to flavor everything you're cooking, and that's to utilize those scraps to make some veggie stock at home. Alright, so I've been cooking at home utilizing vegetables that I've gathered from the farmer's market all week. I noticed that my scrap pile is getting large enough for me to do a batch of stock. So what I'm going to do is go through my scraps that I've kept all week. Now if you feel like you don't have time to do this, you can take that amount of scraps, put it in a freezer bag and throw it in the freezer for you to deal with at a later time. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and take these scraps. I'm going to throw them in a pot. This is a good portion for me in a 4 to 6 quart pot. This is a good amount of veg. I'm going to throw some cold water over that. And then we can also throw some aromatics like black pepper, thyme, bay leaf, clove. Any other aromatics you feel like you can throw in there, even some parsley stems. Not a lot because parsley can get bitter. Or maybe cilantro stems if you're making some type of dish that you really want to put a little layer of cilantro flavor in. Alright, so now we're just going to put this on high heat. In the back, if you have other things you want to be cooking, we're going to let this roll on that high heat for 35 to 45 minutes. Go ahead and grab yourself a glass of wine or a spritzer. Enjoy your quarantine. And all you're going to need for our next step is a colander and a big bowl. Alright, so it's been 35 or so minutes and we have a reduction of our liquid that was in our stock. We have a nice light brown color and all our vegetables look cooked. I do want to say something about the vegetables I forgot to mention. Fiction Kitchen, we mainly use mirepoix. Mirepoix will be carrots, onions, celery with those aromatics. But you're welcome to use any vegetables you have around with scraps. As well, just remember that those scraps will flavor your stock. Especially things like asparagus, bell peppers, things with really strong flavors. They'll impact the flavor of that stock a lot. Alright, so now I have dumped the stock to strain out our compost, because we are going to compost this now. This now becomes good compost, so we have used our vegetable in multiple ways. It's awesome. And then the key now is for this liquid gold, we're going to call it. We're going to cool it down. We really want to cool this down at least to 70 degrees within 2 hours, and then within 4 hours get that down to 41 degrees. To do that quickly, you can put it in something a little more shallow. You can also add a little bit of ice to it. You just want to make sure you cool it within that amount of time. Also, you can use your stock in multiple ways. Any recipe that calls for water, if you want to add a little bit of extra flavor, go ahead and throw that stock in there instead of water. With rice, risotto, now you have the starts of building flavors in many different dishes. Once the stock is cooled, we're gonna jar it up so it's ready to use whenever you need it. If you don't have any jars around, you can also freeze it. That way you can grab a cube out of the freezer anytime you need it as well. Pro tip here, if you don't have a funnel and you don't want to make a mess, go ahead and use a measuring cup to fill up your jars. Also, just make sure you remember to date those jars. First in, first out. It's called the FIFO method. It's a good one to follow. That way you know which stock is the stuff you want to use first. Thanks guys, I really appreciate you joining me today as we learned about how to utilize our vegetable scraps to decrease our carbon footprint and to keep things rolling in our environment in a positive way. We really appreciate you taking those steps. Please follow us. I'm Veggie Chef on Instagram. We're also the Fiction Kitchen on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. So follow us if you don't. Be sure to listen and keep your eyes out for our next opening date. In the meantime, please remember, stay safe, stay healthy, and wash your hands.